FHS season tickets.
Welcome into another episode of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Michael, and today I'm joined by Aiden Salupo, man who's been working behind the scenes for the past couple of years, and we're going to be talking about some postseason baseball, starting off in the National League. So the Dodgers are taking on the winner of the Rockies and Diamondbacks. Aiden, what are you expecting first from the wildcard game and also the Dodgers series?
Well, this is probably a series I have no really input on, just because I am not really familiar with Diamondbacks and Rockies so much. But the Dodgers, people are saying that they think that the Dodgers will come out of the NL, but I'm thinking that honestly it'll be Cubs and Dodgers. So I'm thinking that the Dodgers will beat whoever comes out of the wild card easily. Then from there on, they'll have a tough matchup. I think that if we face them whoever we face in the World Series, if it's the Dodgers, then they will be one of the easier opponents, just because our matchup seems to go our way in that series.
Well, it's interesting with the Dodgers series because they actually, despite having the best record in baseball, I believe they have a losing record to the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. So that's pretty interesting. So with the way the Diamondbacks have been playing recently, I think they have a great opportunity that if they are able to beat the Rockies, they will be able to upset Dodgers and move into the NLCS, because it seems like every year one of the wild card teams ends up going to the next round. I believe they're 500 in history on advancing to the next round against top seeds. So you wouldn't expect the wild card seeds already having used their top pitcher to be able to be 500, but they have been. It seems like the Diamondbacks might have Dodgers' number. So I think if Arizona is able to beat the Rockies, I think they're going to be able to beat the Dodgers. Next series, we're going to go into more detail in the National League. Nationals versus the Cubs. Aiden, what are you expecting from that series?
So the Cubs had, after being the World Series winners, they had a tough start. Well, not a tough start, but not the season you would think for someone.
They were average for a long time.
Yeah, for someone that won the World Series, they did not show like the Indians who lost the World Series. But I do think that the Cubs will start heating up during this postseason. But it's either now, if they don't come out of the first game strong, the first series, then there's no way they would even make it to the World Series. But they need to start building the momentum right now before it's too late for them, because after this slow start of the season, they're just not looking too great. But I still have them beating the Nationals. I'd say the Nationals will take one game off, but other than that, the Cubs will win.
I'm going to go with Washington. I love the way they've been playing. They have home field advantage in this series, and also having Strasburg and Scherzer is just such an advantage over any other team. Even though I'm a big fan of Jake Arrieta, I just think that the Nationals' depth of their pitching staff, and also with the way they've been hitting the ball recently, I believe that Washington's going to be able to get by this series and go into the National League Championship Series. I just like the way they've been playing. They kind of burned me in the past couple seasons, predicting them to do well, but I'm going to go with them to get the victory over the Cubs. Now we're going to move on into the American League, and the Astros take on the Red Sox. And I'm going to go first on this one. I think that the Red Sox are going to win this series. I finally think that David Price does get a postseason win, as I do believe he's winless in the postseason. He's been pretty bad in the postseason, but not as bad as his record might show. Dallas Keuchel and Jose Altuve have been fantastic for Houston, but I think overall Boston's postseason experience and just overall the way their team has been playing this year, I think they're going to be able to figure out a way to get the victory over Houston despite not having home field advantage. I just think that Boston is second best team in the American League. I've always had them as the Indians' main challenger. So I think that Boston, with Chris Sale especially, I think he has a huge series for them. Just probably the number 2 candidate for AL Cy Young, right behind Corey Kluber. So I'm going to go with Boston to get the victory in the series. Aiden, who are you going to go with?
I'm going with Boston too. So I'm Boston winning. I think that Boston will easily make it to, well, they will easily be the toughest opponent for the Indians, like you said, because that team is just, they've been not building up, but you can tell the past couple of years that soon they're going to be a team that was going to be a World Series contestant, and that's this year. But I do feel that the Astros, if if the Astros build up the mindset, like I said with the Cubs, that they will be able to take on the Red Sox. But in my opinion, if the Red Sox have a great first game, they start getting the confidence, then they will easily sweep the Astros. So I'm easily going with the Red Sox.
All right, now we're going to talk about the AL wild card. The Yankees are at home against the Twins. Aiden, I know you have a lot to say about this one-game playoff.
So I was actually telling someone earlier about this. I feel that I'm going to also talk about the winner going on against the Indians. I feel that the Indians want the Yankees a lot more than the Twins because of the struggles the Indians have always had with the Twins. It's not as bad as last year. Last year the Twins ended up sweeping us. The matchup was worse. This year,
And the Twins sucked last year.
yeah, this year the Twins, it was a tough matchup again, but the Indians are so good that they only end up taking one win off us.
Yeah, I think we were 10-7 against the Twins
Yeah.
last season.
Early in the season it was a lot different, but at the end they beat us once. But the Indians definitely want to see the Yankees. Both teams, no matter what, the Indians will beat, but the Twins I feel have a better chance of beating the Indians, which is still a low chance. But I feel as if this is a tough series because people talk about Aaron Judge a lot and how he's the MVP, but all he does is hit home runs.
And walk.
Yeah, him going against us, I think he's still never hit a home run against us.
He played really bad in that big 4-game series at Progressive Field.
He was benched 2 of the games when Corey Kluber was pitching because he was injured. But I feel as if in this series that the Yankees will end up taking it. I feel as if this one-game series will definitely be a close game. It'll be very good. I don't think it's going to be high-scoring at all. I feel it'll be a 3-2 win, maybe a 1-0. Honestly, maybe even a 1-0 win. I think that this will be definitely a good game to watch, but I feel as if the Yankees would come out on top. Aaron Judge probably hit a home run, give them a run. And then everyone will call him MVP, but the Yankees will definitely, I feel, will beat the Twins.
Now, I disagree with what a lot you just said. I would definitely much rather play the Twins than I would.
Oh, no, I would.
Play the. Oh, so you do want to.
Well, I feel like I want to play the Twins.
I think that's way easier.
Really think so?
Yes, I am not scared of the Twins at all. Nothing about Twins, especially after they've already used their first pitcher, scares me at all. But the Yankees,
well, no matter what,
with the way that
either team we're gonna beat. So I mean, it's just that little like.
I would be
chance.
very worried about the Yankees, especially if
Really?
they have a big game at home. Yes, I think that the Yankees have a really solid team. They've been heating up at the end of the year. They almost caught Boston in the AL East. I would be very worried as a Tribe fan if the Yankees win at home against Minnesota. I also disagree. Now, a lot of the wild card games are low scoring, like you mentioned, but I think in this matchup, neither team has a true number one pitcher who's an ace. I think it can be a really high scoring game compared to what we've been expecting in the wild card games, because a lot of wild card games, like you mentioned, are like 3-2, 4-2, 3-1. So I think this Yankees-Twins game can be really high scoring and just be really wild.
Aaron Judge has 10 home runs.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do think that this game, the one-game playoff between the Yankees and the Twins, could get a little wild. And if the Yankees bat around against the Twins, they're going to have a lot of momentum heading into the Indians series. And Indians and the Yankees have played some really exciting games so far this year. I know that last year, Indians and the Blue Jays played some really exciting games, and when playoffs came around, it didn't really matter. The Indians kind of owned that series, but I would be very worried as a Tribe fan if the Yankees have a hot wild card game and roll into Progressive Field with all the confidence in the world, despite they would have their number 2 pitcher likely on the mound against Corey Kluber.
Exactly.
So now we'll jump into that.
Game.
You are starting Kluber game 1, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
There's
he
no
is
choice.
starting, yeah.
So you're going to go
There's no way.
Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer,
Yep.
and then
I think-
hopefully we don't play game 4, but if we play game 4, are you going...
I think so. I think Salazar, didn't he just pitch like a phenomenal game?
Salazar went 5 and like 2/3 or 5 and 1/3 and no runs.
And Tomlin's not as good as he used to be. So I feel...
And I wouldn't start Clevenger in the playoffs.
Exactly, not Clevenger. Maybe even try Merritt, honestly. Like,
Oh.
I mean, not for like a Corey Kluber distance or even a Carrasco where they go a lot of innings. Merritt, I feel like, is the kind of pitcher where as long as it would have to be a matchup of him and like their worst pitcher, where we have to rely on our bats I'd say it has to be at home. You can't let that kid be on an away game. But
Well, Game 4 would be on the road. So
yeah, but Game 4 I'd start Salzer. It'd definitely be.
And then Game 5 you're going back to Kluber
Yeah.
if there's a Game 5.
Bauer's been doing well. Carrasco's did well. So like, all say healthy. And this is a scary pitching lineup. And then you have Andrew Miller.
Yeah, and
Shaw don't even want to talk about. One of the people that does not like him at all. And then
Nobody likes him.
I mean, there are some people that have told me how.
He's not as bad as people say, but I'm not a fan.
I'm
at all.
sick of him. I'm sick of seeing him.
I get it.
Our reliefs are just on and off. Like we really don't.
We have a good bullpen.
Yeah, but it's just like there's always those times where one of them will just give up a 2-run home run and cost it.
I mean, that happens to every team. So,
But we're the fan base that just bashes that person, hates them. Like the only relief pitcher I will say I do not want to pitch is Shaw, but we will see him. But
yeah, what are you doing with the Indians lineup in the postseason? Because the outfield has been a huge question for them. Brantley just came back and had a couple at bats on a Sunday game. So where are you expecting? I'm pretty sure Bruce in right field is the only for sure starter at this point, right?
Honestly, I'm not happy, but Zimmer getting hurt helps the Indians make the decision because you had him out there that you might want to keep that. Like people are saying that they might want to keep, even though. So he was warming up and then he got cold.
Oh, I like Zimmer.
I know, me too.
He had such a bad month of August. He literally had 2 hits in August after 15 games.
He played well. He started well, but him getting injured does help the decision because you have Brantley back. You have, like you said, Bruce. So I think it will be definitely Brantley and Bruce. You have to keep Brantley. The dude has so much heart for the game. He wants to be
on Kipnis in center or Lonnie or Austin Jackson? Naquin's been getting some time too. But
I want Austin Jackson in center.
You would put Jackson over Kipnis?
No, Wait, so how are they doing the?
I think it's gonna be Urshela at third, Lindor at short,
Urshela.
and then J-Ran at second.
Yeah. No, you have to keep
with
Kipnis.
Carlos at first.
You have to keep Kipnis, and you have to have Austin just ready, because Kipnis is just such a.
So you think Austin could maybe pinch run
Yes,
in
exactly.
a late game situation and also be a defensive substitution?
We need him. We need him to be that pinch, or we just need him in those situations where we have no one to rely on. Like say, Jose's already batted Edwin, and you need someone reliable. I would easily take Austin Jackson for one of those people.
And then
Even though Kipnis, I love him, but he's just not. Ever since he had that injury, what was it, like an ankle or something?
it was, I forget what it was.
It was
a while ago.
something to do with his foot or ankle, and after that, he was heating up. That happened. Ever since then, it just hasn't been the same.
And then another thing the Indians can do late in the game, Urshela's up to bat. You can move Lonnie into bat for Urshela, and then you put Lonnie in center, move Kipnis to second, and Jose Ramirez to third. That would be something the Indians could do if they're ever down, like say 7th, 8th inning. That could be your defensive lineup
Our
for
defense
the
is
final
scary.
couple innings.
Our infield defense is so scary. You have Urshela, which is glove is phenomenal. You have J-Ram at second now. Lindor, it's just our whole defense is just phenomenal.
And then also, I'm not sure if Yandy Diaz will be on the 25-man postseason roster, but he's another bat you can bring off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably put him on there. I don't know. That's a tough call because I love Yandy. He's huge. Dude's massive and still can't hit. But he did. So he started off slow. Remember that one time? Remember during the streak he had
1 5-for-5 game.
Yeah.
4-for-4.
And then after that he was average, but then started cooling down again. So he's phenomenal in the AAA.
Yeah. Anything else you want to hit before we wrap up this video and talk about the Indians?
Yeah, actually, I say we should bring up the postseason. So they have Red Sox. So our prediction, I say it would be Indians, Red Sox.
Yeah, I have that too.
Cubs, Dodgers.
I have Nationals versus the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers, depending on how the wild card game goes.
Yeah. People. You don't think? I don't think. A lot of people are going with the Dodgers, of course. I think Cubs will end up going. I think Cubs, or like you said, Nationals. It's either Cubs or Nationals. Whoever wins that game is going to the World Series. If the Indians get past the Red Sox, they're winning the World Series. That is going to be our toughest opponent.
See, I disagree. I think that whoever we play from the NL, I am very worried about. I'm pretty confident that the Indians will make the World Series, but once they get there, I'm really worried
The
about
Red
it.
Sox are
Any
tough.
National League team we play, because I don't think we're playing the Rockies, but if we play the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Cubs,
Not
and Nationals.
Diamondbacks. I can't see us losing.
The Diamondbacks have been hot recently. They have the Dodgers #2. I really like the Diamondbacks team.
Yeah. I feel like the only team though, actually, because we swept the Dodgers early in the season.
Well, no, we lost them 2-1.
Who did we sweep? Was it the Nationals?
I'm not sure, but I know that the Dodgers won the season.
I'll think about the
series.
Astros. We swept the Astros early in the
Yeah,
season.
that was a long.
Oh yeah, the Dodgers, they beat us. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally think we'll see a rematch, Cubs versus Indians. I don't care if we don't, just because it's not like Cavs versus Warriors.
Yeah, it's
where-
not that type of rivalry.
Yeah, it's not that at all. But it would be cool to get revenge. Honestly, I don't care. I want to see. I want to face the Yankees because I do not like everybody hyping up Aaron Judge. I like him, but he's not the MVP. Hitting home runs does not mean you're MVP. Not at all. I mean, I understand Altuve or Jose Ramirez, in my opinion. I understand those two, but not Aaron Judge. That is not the MVP at all. So I want to beat the Yankees, kill the I want to sweep the Red Sox again so badly, like really badly. And then World Series, I want to see. I don't care. I just want to see someone, and I want to see us finally just win because we're
Lift that
ready.
trophy.
Yeah, well, like they're ready for it.
1940.
They want it. I honestly don't see anyone stopping us. The only person that will stop us is ourselves. Just like, because last year was different. The Cubs
Cubs were good.
were just, there's nothing we could have
They were
done.
very good.
This year, there's literally no one that can stop us.
And we were hurt hard. Like half our pitching staff was
Yeah.
hurt. It was literally Kluber and a bunch of scrubs, and we still were up 3-1 in the World Series.
God, that was such bad. I can't even think about that. But yeah, that's
And
my
you-
opinion.
You're never going to have that type of rivalry. Like in basketball, it's a lot more likely if you make the playoffs and you're the best team that you're going to make it
Like
to the
Cavs
finals. So
versus
the Cavs
Warriors
Warriors
is
is
gonna
really
happen
predictable.
again. Gonna happen this year.
Even in the ALCS and the NLCS, if both the Indians and Cubs are going to make it, it's still a high probability that one of them loses, even if they were the 2 best teams in the league, which the Cubs, I don't think they are. I think it's the Dodgers and the Indians. But that will wrap it up for this episode of FHS Season Tickets. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more season ticket videos.
Besides, God damn it, hold on, cut that. Cut that, nobody looks stupid.